Shabbat Shalom. This week, of course, we begin the book of Genesis with Parashat Breisheet. All the familiar characters of our tradition come back to us in this book of Genesis. Always a very enjoyable read as we read at first the stories of our proto-history, the history before the history of the Jewish people, and then all the stories of our matriarchs and patriarchs. One of the things that I think is significant about the book of Genesis, of course, is that it's impossible to verify that anything that occurred in this book actually happened. And certainly this week's Torah portion, Parashat Breisheet, describes the creation of the world and stories of early humanity, which, according to modern science, don't seem to be the least bit accurate. So the question is, what do we do with it? Do we just say, oh, well, crazy story, and completely ignore it? So there is a saying that perfect is the enemy of the good, which means that if we're always looking for perfection, we'll never even get to good, because what we'll do is we'll expect something to be perfect, and when it isn't, then we completely throw it away. It's like tossing the baby away with the bathwater. In fact, I think what we need to do when we look at this story, in fact, through much of the story of the Torah, is to look for those pieces, those stories, those laws from which we can glean our own personal meaning, a sense of direction, a sense of inspiration. And I think that this is true not just in the Torah, but throughout our lives, right? There's no such thing as the perfect mate, the perfect husband or wife or partner. There's only the one who's perfect for you. We know that we ourselves are not perfect, and yet we're deserving of love, and we're deserving of goodness, and we should view other people the same way. And the same is true throughout so many things. We think about jobs, right? There is no such thing as the perfect job. There's jobs that are good enough, that fit us. Same thing with political candidates. No political candidate is absolutely perfect, but we choose the one who gets us closer to where we want to be. And I think that taking a look at the stories in the book of Genesis, and particularly the story of creation, it may not be perfect, but these stories do give us meaning, they do give us direction, they do give us a sense of context in our lives, and they're good. They're very good stories. They're Tov Ma'od, as it says in Parashat Genesis. This week at Beth El, the Heights Synagogue, we mark the yahrzeits of Mary Ann Gordon, Albert Greenberg, Ethel Neuger, Sam Tepper, Roger Wilkenfeld, Marvin Dubin, Sam Dworkin, James Sant, Ben Tepper, Harry Mazel, Rose Zeisler, and Louis Brody. Also a reminder that Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan is observed Saturday night through Monday at sunset. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.